Hi guys, welcome to the lesson 1 of learning the piano. My name is Amit and I want to congratulate you on choosing to learn this instrument because piano is called the mother of all instruments. It's one of the oldest instruments that's in place. It's used by composers it forms the base for compositions of melodies. So I think you have made the right choice. Okay. So before I start off my lessons, there's something that I want to convey to you. And what I want to convey to you is that so learning music is like learning a new language. So just like when you started learning a new language like English, so you started learning the basic alphabets, right? You started learning the basic alphabets, then you learned the words, then you learned the parts of speech, and then you grouped everything together to form meaningful sentences, right? So music works in the same way. Okay, so what I'll try to do is have a very logical and structured approach to take you through this journey. And what I believe in is that you should have your basics, your fundamentals right. So if you don't have your basics, your fundamentals right, and you're just planning to skim through some YouTube videos where they claim to teach you an instrument in a week or 2 weeks, then what will happen is that your journey will become stagnant after a while. You'll understand that this is the way you play a chord, and in this song you can play these sequence of chord. But if you don't understand why you're playing what you're playing, then I think after some time your journey will stagnate and you'll no longer be able to grow into music. So once you have your basics right, your fundamentals in place, then I think you'll be able to understand that why you're playing something, and you'll be able to create your own melodies. You'll understand the notes, you'll understand the names of these sounds, you'll construct your own scales. Using those scales you will construct any chord that you want, and then you understand the technical nitty-gritties of what is happening behind this. So in my course, in my tutorials, I'll follow the same approach, and I'll absolutely touch upon all the fundamentals of music theory, as well as I'll try to show you everything over here. Okay, so I think we're all set with all the talking, so let's begin our lessons. So in this video, we'll talk about how do we name these sounds, what are the names or the notations. We'll also talk about something called steps, that is a whole step and a half step, and we'll talk about a term called solfege. Okay, so what I have here is a Yamaha DGX 660. It's an 88 key portable digital piano. So as you know that piano is a combination of white keys and black keys. So the black keys are also called accidentals. Okay, and the black keys are in groups of 3s and 2s, right? Yeah, and the white keys are sitting at the bottom of the black keys. Okay, so this white key over here, if you consider these 2s of black keys and go down here, this white key over here is called a C note. Okay, so C has a special significance in Western music because the convention is that the notational convention starts from here. Okay, so this note over here is the C note. Just like when you're learning English, the alphabet, they start from A. So in the same way in music we start from C. So to be very specific, this particular C is also called the middle C because this octave is sitting right in the middle of my piano. Or we also call it C4 because this is the fourth octave from the left. Similarly, this C is called the C5, this is called the C6, this becomes C7 likewise. But let's not talk about C4s and C5s, let's just talk about the basic notations as of now. Okay, so we start from a C, this is a C note. Okay, next comes a D, an E, an F, a G, an A, a B, C. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, back to C. So what's happening here? I mean, what's happening here in terms of pitches? So why are we ending the journey over here and then moving to the convention C again? And why does this octave end over here? So by the way, this entire set of keys is called an octave. So why does the octave end here? The answer lies because if you press these two C keys together, so they are the same sounds. Okay, so this is because of the reason that the frequency of this C is exactly twice as the frequency of this C. If you remember the concept called resonance from your school or college days, it's because of that. So because the frequency is twice, so the sound the same. So modern day instruments are also called equally tempered instruments because the difference in frequencies between these adjacent keys is exactly the same. Okay, so this instrument has been tuned in a very ordered way of frequencies. So we start from here, and when we reach to a C note on the higher octave, the frequency exactly doubles. Similarly, if we start from D and end up on the D of an higher octave, the frequency of this is exactly double of this. Okay, so now you know that we start from a C and go till B in an octave. Now let's move to learning the black keys. Okay, so this black key over here is called a C sharp or a D flat because the C pitch is sharpened or D pitch has been flattened. Now, when to call it a C sharp and when to call it a D flat depends on the context in which you are referring to it. So just like you might have, two names, you might have a nickname by which your parents refer to you, and you might have a formal name by which your colleagues refer to you. So in the same way, we call it either a C sharp or a D flat depending on the context. But this is something that you'll understand as you progress through music. So at this point, just know that this is a C sharp or a D flat, and this is a D sharp or an E flat. Okay, now notice that there's no black key between E and F, so there's no E sharp or there is no F flat, right? Although when you will progress, you'll sometimes encounter people saying E sharp, which essentially means an F only, or F flat, which essentially means an E only. But at this moment, just know that this is an E and there's no sharp over here, an E sharp or an F flat. So we move from E to F. Now this is an F sharp or a G flat. This is a G sharp or an A flat. This is an A sharp or a B flat. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a C sharp or a D flat, a D sharp or an E flat, an E, F sharp or a G flat, G sharp or A flat, A sharp, B. So from here till here, we have 12 distinct notes, right? So we have 12 distinct notes on the piano. So now you know the names for all these notes. Okay, so in the subsequent lessons, when we'll learn how to construct a scale using all these notes, you'll understand that how we'll make use of these 12 notes and use formula to construct different majors and minors scale. Okay, so I think you just completed your first lesson in music, that is knowing the sounds. So start from here, we end it here, and we have 12 notes in an octave. Okay, so now let's understand what's a whole step and what's a half step. So when we move from here to here, that is, we move one pitch to the next higher pitch. This is called a semitone, or this is called a half step up. Okay, so similarly, if you're moving 2 half steps, it's called a whole step. Okay, so from here to here is a half step up, from here to here is a whole step up, from here to here is a half step or a semitone up, from here to here it's a whole step, from here to here is a half step, from here to here is a whole step, from here to here is a half step, from here to here is a whole step, likewise. So it's important to know the concepts of a whole step and half step, because it will come really handy when you're constructing your scales. Okay, so now you know what are whole steps and what are half steps. Remember, 12 distinct notes on an octave, whole step, 2 semitones apart, half steps, 1 semitone apart. Okay, now the last concept for this particular video would be something called solfege. So why I've come up with this term is that because in Western music, when they're singing, use do re mi fa sol la ti do. In Indian music, when we sing, we use sa re ga ma pa dha ni. So this concept of assigning syllables to these sounds is called solfegation. Okay, so imagine if I were singing C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. C, D, E, F, G, A, B. Sounds weird, right? So if you're into singing, so it's important to assign syllables to these notes. So that's why we sing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Or in Indian music, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. Right. So this will come more handy when like you're into vocals. But since right now we are trying to learn an instrument, so we'll stick to our basic conventions of reading music from C to B. Okay, so right now what's significant for you is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Thanks for watching, guys. In the next lesson, we'll learn about how to construct scales, and then we'll move forward to constructing chords. We'll move to constructing some advanced chords, and then we'll try to play some songs. Thanks for watching.